Hello. I'm gonna get this video out really quickly before BubbleGum Simulator dies. So I'm not in my usual place, and I don't usually do face cam anymore. This is obviously not my room. This is my partner's room. Her face cam works, so I'm borrowing it for today's video about some pretty concerning tweets that have come out of Isaac and people overreacting, saying, "Oh, BubbleGum Simulator's dying." And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see what I think. I'm also in-game. It's very rare that this account is actually in-game. Usually I just play on my alts, but we're in-game. I'm gonna do a little bit of hatching while we chat and while we look at some of these sort of discerning things that are going on in the community. I'm also gonna I'm gonna leave my comments at the end of today's video about the stuff that happened with RAM, because it's somewhat connected to this. So before we go further, it's very important to mention that a couple of weeks ago, well, 3 weeks ago now, wow, I made a video that essentially ruined the puzzle event on the Discord. And as a YouTuber, I saw the puzzle event. I thought, I can help my viewers. This is going to get views. This will be good for the channel, good for the community. I made that video without thinking. And within an hour, I had people on Discord sending me death threats, sending me death threats about my family, saying that my family should die, I should die, how dare I ruin their value pet in BubbleGum Simulator, like being that angry on the internet. And the reason I bring that up is because of Isaac's tweets that we're about to read. So, from Isaac, this is a while ago now. I'm kind of late to the party here. It's pretty sad and disappointing how toxic people have become about demanding updates and expecting them so frequently. As if people have forgotten that a real person is behind their toxic comments. Developers burn out, especially after 70 updates. I don't need to read the rest. You guys know what the rest is. And I'm sure a lot of you have already decided which side you sit on for this, but let me just put in my sort of like opinion here and maybe just add a little bit of reason to the situation. The most like sort of important thing to remember here is that last year, and I know this is before a lot of people probably played the game, you know, there are a lot of new players now. We went a good like 6 to 8 months with no update whatsoever. And that's because Isaac and the team were building RumbleQuest. Once RumbleQuest was done, they came back and they started updating BubbleGum Simulator more regularly. Now, I know some people will get the answer to this wrong, but what would you prefer? An update once a month, a small update once a month, and then big updates every so often, or no updates for 6 months to 8 months, and then one big update that revives the game? Because personally, the 6 to 8 months where we got absolutely no update because they were working on one other game was really, really rough for the community. Player counts were down below 5,000, and, you know, things were pretty dismal. Or we can go with today, where we get big updates sort of irregularly. I mean, Easter, we just had Easter. We had St. Patrick's Day, which was a new world, new currency. We're getting an egg this weekend, along with competitive leaderboards. We're still getting small updates, while Isaac and the team work on not one, but at least 2 other games. So they're putting in more than 100% effort compared to what they did last time. If you weren't around last time, you've got no sort of context for this, but what we're getting right now while Rumble works on other games, this is the best scenario for BubbleGum Simulator because it's been worse in the past. You should be very, very grateful that we're getting updates at all based on how they worked in the past. Especially when this time around, Isaac has admitted that they are burnt out. When I burnt out on YouTube, I took 2 years off. You miss out on updates for 2 weeks. I definitely think that being angry on the internet and yelling at Isaac, spamming his Discord, just being an all-round nuisance and making him want to update the game less, you're a part of the problem. Full transparency, I am frustrated that there's no updates as well. I don't just play the game for fun. I am building a community around it. I actually do YouTube for fun. The game itself is less relevant. The game that I'm building my YouTube channel around, not updating, is extremely frustrating for me. But instead of, you know, tweeting Isaac, DMing Isaac, causing problems on his Discord, I express my frustration to my partner. I express my frustration with my Discord. We talk about it all the time. We say how things could be better. We offer solutions for how things could be better. But at no point do any of us go out of our way to scream at Isaac on the internet. You are more than welcome to be frustrated. You're more than welcome to be angry, but it is never acceptable to turn that anger into death threats and harassment of the people who are developing the game. You cannot go out of your way and be angry at the developers. You can be angry, but you cannot harass people. You cannot get angry at people. You're just allowed to be angry. I don't know if I explained it well enough. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, but basically, I'm angry, you're angry. Don't yell at the developers, just be angry. Be frustrated, be impatient, but don't take it out on them. If you're so confident and you think it's so easy, do it yourself. Go make a better simulator. We'll all come play it. As for the second little part of today's video about RAMs like cross-trading, gambling, that sort of stuff. Again, my video where I ruined the Discord event, I saw an opportunity to make a video. I thought I was helping my community. I thought I was going to be entertaining. Turns out I wasn't. Turns out I made a lot of people angry by ruining the event. It didn't even cross my mind because that's just what happens sometimes to YouTubers. And I genuinely think the same thing has happened with Ram here. He didn't think it all the way through because he thought this will be an entertaining video, and therefore he just did it. And then he got the backlash. Then he realized that yes, he admits in his video he was technically cross-trading. He realizes he did something wrong, and it was just an honest mistake. I think anyway. I'm not saying this is a friend of Ram's. You know, we don't really get along. I've called him out in his comment sections before when he lied about how Tapping Legends got removed from the game. He has repeatedly called my live stream stupid when I was getting more viewers than him for a live stream. We aren't friends. I'm not defending him as a friend. We are just fellow content creators. We have both made similar mistakes, so I can sympathize and I understand that he wasn't being malicious in any way. You can, however, be upset about his apology video because when you're going to apologize to your subscribers, calling them stupid kids because they disagree with you is never a good idea. Again, I don't think he thought that one through, but feel free to be angry at him for that because calling your viewers stupid kids is just something that a kid would do, right? It was a childish thing for Ram to do that, to lash out at the people who were criticizing him. It's also very important to remember that there are several YouTubers in our community who I'm not going to name because they've made mistakes, they've apologized, they've been forgiven, but there are several YouTubers in our community who have actually cross-traded, lied about it, tried to hide it from their communities, and then got caught. And then there's Ram, who wasn't thinking about cross-trading, because if he was, he wouldn't have posted it on YouTube. He's innocent. There are people out there who have done worse that I'm sure that you probably watch every single day without even thinking like, oh, they used to be a cross-trader. So I think there's a bit of a double standard here. In closing, it's weird for me to be the voice of reason because usually I'm pretty quick to judge people. It's definitely something that I need to work on. I'm not the best for it. But in closing, you're allowed to be frustrated. Don't take it out on Isaac and the team. You're allowed to disapprove of what Ram did, but I genuinely do think it was an innocent mistake. And as a community, I think we need to work on dealing with toxicity and focusing on the positivity of the game because when the YouTubers start getting attacked, when the owners start getting attacked, when content gets dry, that's when the heart of a game really fades and it does die. And if we're all going to be toxic and start turning on one another, then yes, the game will die and it will be our fault, not the developers. Feel free to post your opinions in the comment section down below. But like I said, you can disagree with me, but you can't tell me that I have to die just because I have a different opinion to you. It's something our community really needs to work on because it's kind of pathetic. And yeah, I'll see you all next time in another video.